They're filing into the Coliseum here in Greensboro. We are at the semifinals here with the New York Life ACC Tournament. And in the first game tonight, it'll be the number 4 seed, the Duke Blue Devils, playing as well as any team in the conference right now, taking on the number 1 seed, the regular season co-champs, the Miami Hurricanes, as these two teams search for a victory and try to move one step closer to a conference championship.
The ACC tournament, it's a reality show at its best.
Jedrick with the exclamation point.
It's always juice when you play in North Carolina because, you know, this is the hoop state.
Keep your eyes on me.
The noise will be constant. Use it to fuel your drive.
I don't know what people say, but I know for us, we believe in each other.
We'll let everybody else talk about what they think about us.
Watch this, I'm coming up. Watch this, I'm coming up.
There's no holding back at times like these.
Give me my 10 ACC teams. I'll take on any conference in the country.
Make some noise.
I'm coming up.
Welcome to ESPN's Champ Week presented by Principal. This is the New York Life ACC Tournament. Started with 15 down to 4, and we got chalk. 1 versus 4, Miami, Duke, and later on tonight, Virginia and Clemson, the 2 seeds and the 3 seed here in Greensboro. Hi, everybody. Dan Schulman, Jay Billis. Regardless of who's playing, regardless of what's at stake, this is always a special night in this tournament.
Well, we've got the top 4 seeds, and they are all NCAA tournament seed teams, and this is, I think, the most meaningful championship for any ACC player to win an ACC tournament title.
What about some of the stars that we've got on both sides? Let's start with Miami and the ACC Player of the Year.
Well, Miami has the #1 offense in the ACC. They score 79 points per game, and Isaiah Wong is the engine behind that. He is a shot maker on a team of shot makers, and you have to stay in front of him and stay down on his shot fakes because he can get by you and he can rise up in the mid-range and from deep. And for Duke, the Rookie of the Year in the ACC, Kyle Filipowski. He has 14 double-doubles on the season. Just came off a 22-point game against Pittsburgh and had 17 and 14 in the last game against Miami.
Almost ready for tip, Holly Rose with John Shire.
Well, Coach Shire, you've been a 2-time champion of this tournament and an MVP. Why does it matter to you, and why do you remember it so well?
Well, it's a great league, and it's a great opportunity to play in the ACC tournament anytime. And, you know, for me, it's about these guys. It's the opportunity that they have, and we're excited for this challenge tonight against a great Miami team.
Your season turned after an embarrassing loss to Miami. How do you prove and show that you're better than what you did the last time?
I think we've shown it every game. We need to continue to show that tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Howard.
Yeah, they got beat by 22 down in Coral Gables about a month ago. Duke has, without question, gotten better. Miami has, without question, been awfully good all season long. Another really good team that Jim Larrañaga has put together, the co-champs, along with Virginia in the ACC. So Duke won by 2 at Cameron. Miami won by 22 down in Coral Gables. Which one of these two is going to the final tomorrow night? A.J. Desai, Clarence Armstrong, Ted Valentine are the officials. Lively and O'Meara on the tip, and it's Duke ball to get it started. And the freshman Tyrese Proctor, who's been doing the bulk of the ball handling and has been doing an outstanding job in recent weeks. Jeremy Roach moving off the ball more into more of a scorer's role recently for the Blue Devils.
Boy, hard hedges to start the game. And any time that Derek Lively II sets a ball screen, he's going to exit out of that ball screen quickly. So if you stay on the ball too long, you'd better have a good rotation. Lively took advantage of a slower one.
Outstanding starting 5, Isaiah Wong. You know, he was the player of the year in the league. Don't forget about Jordan Miller, second team all ACC. Does a little bit of everything and does it awfully well. The turnaround goes for Wong.
Isaiah Wong is not the only one on this Miami team, but he's as good as anybody at creating his own shot.
Jeremy Roach and 4 freshmen in the starting lineup for Duke. Kyle Filipowski, despite rolling his ankle last night, scored 22 points in only 16 minutes. They ran away from Pittsburgh so quickly that John Shire got a chance to rest Filipowski down the stretch a bit, and everybody in Blue Devils Nation happy to see him out there starting the game tonight.
Duke early on trying to get ball reversal, and then they're going into the post. Duke is a bigger team. They're bigger and longer.
Jim Larrañaga at shoot-around today talked about defending the rim. They even worked on free throw blockouts today because of Duke's outstanding ability as an offensive rebounding group.
And even if you get a good blockout, Duke can reach over the top and tap it back, and you always have to be aware of that.
Mark Mitchell is 77% free throw shooter, missed them both, and now we have an injury.
Norchad
Omier is down.
Looked like he rolled that right ankle.
Boy, and that has happened. It's happened to 4 or 5 different players in this tournament. Unfortunately, just wrong place at the wrong time, landing on somebody else's foot. And this is a tremendously important player for the Hurricanes. Their starting 5-man in Norchad Omier.
Just on a simple missed free throw, and barely a minute into the game, and it looked like it was his right ankle. And it probably came down on somebody's foot. Yeah, it came down on Derek Lively II's foot and rolled it over. And that can obviously be very painful and is really scary for a player.
Again, we just mentioned a similar thing happened to Kyle Filipowski last night. A couple of Florida State Seminoles had it happen to them. It's one of these things. Armando Bacot had it happen to him earlier in the tournaments. Matthew Cleveland, one of the Florida State players who had it, but unfortunately Omier, at least at this point, not putting any weight on that foot, getting help to the bench, and they'll have a closer look at it. But that is a very tough start for Miami in this game. And
Norchad Omier, 3rd in the ACC in both rebounding and offensive rebounding. He averages about 10 rebounds a game, close to 3.5 offensive rebounds a game, and he's 6th in the league in block shots. So that is a costly injury to start this game for Miami.
So Anthony Walker, a 6'9" junior, is into the game. He's actually a little bit taller than Omier, but he's not nearly the inside physical presence or rebounder that Omier is. So it's a much different looking group right now for the Hurricanes. Wooga Poplar on the drive, scoops it up and in. Pretty reverse.
You have to keep Wooga Poplar away from that right-hand drive. He is a strong right driver. And I think basketball fans will remember that big-time right-handed drive dunk that he had in Coral Gables against Duke.
And Walker is called for the foul, stepping out to hedge.
Wooga Poplar is an unbelievable athlete and an above-the-rim finisher, but just using the rim to shield off the block shot from Derek Lively II coming from the backside.
He is the only starter for the Hurricanes averaging fewer than 13 points per game, and he's got a lot more in him than that. He averages 8. It's just he's playing with a lot of very talented, experienced offensive players as Filipowski is called for a travel.
Good job there by Jordan Miller, the lefty. He's given up some size to Kyle Filipowski, but he's such a fundamentally sound defender. He's fundamentally sound in every aspect of the game, and you could argue that you're looking at a first-team All-ACC player in Jordan Miller that may be the best player in the league.
Jim Larrañaga a few weeks ago said he felt he was the most underrated player, not in the conference, in the country. And he has started to get more recognition in recent weeks as Wong dribbles it off his own foot, but it's stolen by Poplar, only to come up short.
In the last game these two teams played, Duke turned it over 21 times, and 10 of those 21 turnovers came from Tyrese Proctor and Jeremy Roach.
Boy, and Filipowski just using his superior size and strength to bull his way to the rim.
And to think, for the first month of practice, the Duke coaching staff was a little worried that Kyle Filipowski was not physical enough.
Yeah,
he's overcome any of those concerns.
Meanwhile, again, this does not look good at all for Norchad Omier, and we will try to get more for you. We've got an update now. Here's Holly.
Well, Norchad Omier is out for the game, guys. You can see him very carefully looking back. They want to make sure that they get an x-ray of that. I did read the lips of the athletic trainer. They don't think it's broken, but they do definitely want to get better imaging and take a better look at that. So he will not play tonight, but we'll keep you posted if he's able to play tomorrow if they were to win.
Boy, what a shame. A terrific player, tremendously popular with his teammates. A transfer from Arkansas State, was the Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. And again, only, quote, only 6'7", Jay, but as tough and physical and hard-nosed as you get in this conference. That's a big loss for the Hurricanes.
Well, he gets deep post position. He's a terrific lob threat. He's kind of Miami's version of Bam Adebayo, and to have him out of the game is a really big blow to Miami.
Yeah, they don't have a backup center, if you will. Again, they bring in Walker, but he's really kind of a wing. It's really a 5-out situation right now for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and it gives them an opportunity to spread the floor and attack, but the biggest concern is on the defensive end.
Miller. Well, he got by Filipowski, but he couldn't get by Lively.
Derek Lively II is so active. His length, his athleticism, his ability to recover. And a guy who over his last 14 games has blocked 41 shots, including 8 against North Carolina.
A member of the ACC's all-defensive team.
What a great matchup between Wong and Tyrese Proctor, the freshman, who's a great defender.
Wong a little strong on the long jumper, and it's down to Mitchell. Mark Mitchell quietly has been playing some very good basketball in recent games for the Blue Devils, shooting at a high percentage, double-figure score. Another reason why they come in here having won 7 in a row.
Well, Filipowski's so good out of that short roll. That was an excellent pass out of the short roll. He gets out of the ball screen action quickly, and Tyrese Proctor is really starting to shoot it. He's always been a good shooter. Didn't start off shooting it well this season, but we talk about a player improving throughout the course of the year.
Yeah, only 18 years old, and to your point, 31% from 3 on the season, but 40% in his last 14 games. And now Roach is down.
No call was made, but I think the referees are going to look at this and see if that was a basketball play. He took one in the chops.
Isaiah Wong got him in the chin or the nose. We'll get another look going to break with a timeout on the floor, and we'll see if the officials, as Jay mentioned, are going to have a look at it as well. On the move by Isaiah Wong, right there, the right elbow into the face of Roach before he went up and made the basket.
The question is whether it was excessive.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. Over 12,000 agents there to help guide you through life's happiest and most difficult times. And the invitation to the Lexus sales event now through April 3rd. Welcome back to Greensboro. Going into the timeout, you saw the officials were going to go look at the monitor. There was no call on this play, but after looking at it, Jay, they have decided that is a flagrant 1 on Isaiah Wong.
Yeah, I think the determination was made. They felt it was excessive. I don't know whether they looked, whether the defender was in the cylinder, all that stuff, but whatever they decided, it's 2 shots for Duke, and go back to Duke having the ball after the score, but the basket counts.
Right. That was one thing we were discussing amongst ourselves. The basket still does count for Wong. Roach makes them both, so Duke by 2, and they've got the ball. And Proctor brings him into the front court, guarded by Nigel Pack.
You have to think Duke's going to want to attack inside without O'Meara being in the game to take advantage of their size.
Filipowski spins and turns it over. Miami in transition. Pack for 3. And Filipowski down with a rebound for the Blue Devils.
Right, great opportunity for Miami in transition. Just mishandled the ball on that pass to Isaiah Wong.
Miller deflects it, and it's out of bounds to Miami. Jordan Miller doing a nice job defending Filipowski down on the block, and that's the 4th Duke turnover already.
Even though Miller is giving up a lot of size and weight to Kyle Filipowski, he's using his quickness, and he's breaking contact with Filipowski. When an offensive post player gets contact into the defender, the offensive player has a huge advantage. If you can break that contact and use your quickness and get around.
Poplar. Boy, is he athletic, but he lost it off his fingertips. Knew that Miami was going to retain possession, so he just kind of shielded off a couple of Duke players.
Derek Lively comes over, and he does a good job of using his chest to go into the offensive player. And with his length and presence, you always know where he is.
Dariq Whitehead is checked into the game for Duke. Filipowski's gone to the bench. Shot clock's at 4. Wong over Lively. And Whitehead down with a rebound.
And Whitehead is a player you have to be with him on the catch. He's the best three-point shooter on the floor.
41% on the season, despite a couple of injuries this year that have cost him a total of 8 games. Proctor finds him. And a good closeout by Wong. Whitehead will score anyways, taking it into the paint.
He is a bucket getter.
Yep.
Talk about a versatile player. He can knock it down from deep. He can drive it. He's strong, athletic. He's a difficult cover.
Duke by 4, 6 minutes in. The Blue Devils have won 7 in a row and are clearly playing their best basketball of the season. Miller surrounded, finds Poplar. Boy, Miami, Jay, has had some pretty good looks that they haven't been able to knock down.
Dariq Whitehead was injured early on in the season, but he just fades to the corner, gives a little juke move, and gets in with that left-handed drive. He's a 3-level scorer. He can get to the rim. He can shoot from the mid-range. And he's got deep range as a three-point shooter. And he's battle-tested. And he played some high-level basketball as a high school player.
Harlan Beverly has made his first appearance of the game for the Hurricanes, 4th-year junior out of Detroit. And also number 4, Bensley Joseph. He's a real bulldog. Very good, tenacious defensive player. Backup point guard for Miami.
What a split.
Roach the kick. Proctor the 3. Duke by 7.
Boy, what a difference in Tyrese Proctor. His last 16 games, he's averaging over 11 points a game, shooting about 38% from 3. But there's no hesitation now when he gets the ball. If he's got some room, he's putting it up.
Wong, boy, a tough shot over a couple of Duke defenders.
That's who he is. Yep. He's just a tough shot maker. His middle game is so impressive.
16 points per game to lead a balanced Miami attack this season. Whitehead driving again. Mitchell cleans it up, but can't finish it.
Duke is really lifting up the Miami defense.
Beverly turns it over.
Whitehead caused, or excuse me, Derek Lively II caused that with his presence. That would have been a shot that you would think that Beverly would take to the rim every time, but he was a little bit worried about getting it wiped away.
It took Lively a while to get going this season, but he's turned into one of the better defensive big men in the nation the last couple of months.
Jeremy Roach is really good off ball screen situation. Give him a little bit of room on the hedge. Walker comes out a little bit too far, doesn't stay connected, and then Tyrese Proctor was ready to shoot as soon as that ball arrived. And there aren't many players in the country going to go up against a shot blocker like Derek Lively II and have that ability to get that shot up and over the top. His body control, Isaiah Wong's, is just so good.
Jacob Grandison and Ryan Young, a couple of grad transfers in off the bench for Duke now. Young a touch and threw it out of bounds. A little miscommunication between him and Roach. 5th turnover committed by the Blue Devils.
And Ryan Young had 1-on-1 in the post. He should have just backed his defender down and taken that instead of passing it out. You know, if a second defender comes at you, then pass it out.
Both of these teams obviously securely in the tournament. Joe Lunardi has both of them as a 5 seed right now, so each of them with a chance to move up, you would imagine, if they could win tonight and then maybe win a championship tomorrow, as Jordan Miller makes a bit of an off-balance shot, but looked comfortable doing it to bring Miami back within 3.
Oh, he was completely in control of that. That was Nowitzki type.
Yep. Off one leg. Jim Larinagas, we said, raving about his fundamentals. Shooting, passing, dribbling, anything that needs to be done, he does well. Grandison. And Miller the rebound.
Well, you knew that Duke's defense was going to be really good in this tournament, but their offense has been so impressive.
Joseph in off the bench, and he ties it up with a 3.
And that early offense is going to be important for Miami. to come down. If you get a look in transition, take it, because it's probably better than what you're going to get later on against Duke's defense with their length.
Roach hop stepping into the paint. And here come the Canes in transition looking for the lead. Off the rim from Beverly, tracked down in the corner by Young. Another opportunity. Miami's had 3 or 4 really good looks that haven't gone so far.
Well, they're doing a great job of pushing the ball in transition after they get a rebound. Great post up by Young.
And a pretty good job by A.J. Casey not to foul him. Little hesitation. And it goes for Wong.
Then he got a foul on Young, pushing him.
Wong is okay. Miami's got the lead, and he'll be at the free throw line when we come back. It's a 9-0 run right now for the Hurricanes.
Well, Jordan Miller, who's an outstanding offensive rebounder. He's 6'7". Just a really pretty shot. The lefty off the right foot. And then Bensley Joseph in transition, pulling up from deep. Miami's starting to feel it.
Filipowski has burst onto the scene as one of the best young players in all of America. But did you know that he is a twin? His twin brother Matthew is playing basketball at Harvard, and we reached out to him to get a special message for his little brother today.
Kyle, what's up, man? It's one of your big brothers. You're playing in the semifinals of the ACC tournament against Miami. It's going to be a tough fight, but we all know you can do it. You've been killing for as long as I can remember, and especially even this year. Just do your thing. Good luck out there, bro.
Of course, they're both 7-footers, and I talked to Kyle like, hey, why don't you guys want to go somewhere together? He said, we just have our own journeys. My brother wanted to go to Harvard. It's an incredible school. He's really super smart, and we just have our different identities and paths in life. But really cool shout out, and I love that the two twins are making their own journey in life and doing it at 7 feet tall.
Looks like both is on a pretty successful journey. Kyle Filipowski certainly appears to be on his way to a career in the NBA, and if you're a 7-foot freshman with good enough ability to play at a school as good as Harvard, you're going to have some opportunities coming your way as well. Shot clock at 3. Casey got it off, but didn't draw iron, and a shot clock violation on the Canes.
Jordan Miller still guarding Kyle Filipowski. And if Filipowski can duck into the lane, he's going to get a little cross screen.
At 6'7", 195, guarding 7-foot, 230. And that's why Filipowski's going strong to the rim every chance he gets.
Well, they got him in the middle of the floor, and Filipowski's really good on that short roll. And oftentimes when a big guy sets a ball screen, they're going to roll all the way to the basket. A hard roll to the rim. But Filipowski can roll short, catch it, and then be a playmaker from there for himself or others. So they'll hit him short rather than wait for him to get all the way to the rim. So watch him set this ball screen. He'll get out early and hit him with the short roll. And he was able to get all the way to the basket using that space. But you try to, stunt at him and slow him down, or you have to commit. If you want to commit, then he can make that pass to the open shooter. Aren't a lot of 7-footers that they're hitting on short rolls.
No. A little shovel pass to Lively, extra pass to Mitchell. And now they'll work on their spacing a bit.
And Filipowski, when he gets the ball in a relocation pass, you always have to be concerned about his initial shot fake.
Soft touch, just always under control. You just can't seem to speed up Tyrese Proctor.
Well, he plays at a pace that the situation requires. If he needs to blast off that ball screen to get to the rim, he will. If he needs to take his time, he'll do that so he can make the right read.
Wooga Poplar with a corner 3, and Miami back on top.
Miami does such a great job of spreading the floor, and even though they've got so many shot makers, they are really good at sharing the ball. They average about 15 assists per game.
And statistically, in terms of a lot of numbers and the efficiency numbers at Ken Pom as well, Miami the best offensive team in the ACC this year, but Duke goes back on top of the 3 from Jeremy, or a long 2, excuse me, from Jeremy Roach.
I think the officials are getting concerned when players are making baskets. They're looking at the other bench, and Well, you might see something happen there. When Jeremy Roach made that, he had something to say to the Miami bench. It was right after, I think, Wooga Poplar, when he knocked that shot down, had something to say.
Nigel Pack, who's got unbelievable range with a deep three to put Miami back on top. This is a tough group. They're without one of their best players right now, and Norchad Omier out for the night. If you weren't with us, twisted his ankle, looked pretty bad in the first minute of the game. He will not return. But this is a veteran together, confident group that is seeking to move into the championship game tomorrow night.
And anytime a player goes down, you know, everybody says next man up mentality, but it gives others an opportunity to step in and play.
Boy, Mitchell shot that with confidence, didn't he?
And he's been doing everything with confidence over the last half of the season. And especially, as you mentioned, his last 5 games, he's shooting about 57% from the field, averaging 13 points.
With Miami giving up size at every spot on the floor.
Look how far out they run their offense. That gives them a lot of room. Just takes multiple dribbles to get to the basket, but this team can really score.
Filipowski will bring it over. Nobody's guarding Mitchell. And that cost the Hurricanes. Jim Larinaga can't be happy with that.
Yeah, you want to pick up the ball, but I think Mitchell even got hit when he went up and still completed the play.
So 5 quick points for Mitchell to put Duke on top by 3.
Duke does such a good job with their defense. They're not a turnover forcing team that gets out in passing lanes, but they really protect the paint. It is tough to get to the basket against this crew.
Nigel Pack's going to try, and he's going to succeed.
Boy, a creative finish over Derek Lively the second. I mean, just getting to the rim isn't enough. You're going to have to do something creative to get it over or around these shot blockers.
Isaiah Wong's been waiting to check back in for several minutes. We haven't had a whistle in a while, but Miami's still right there, just down by 1. Lively knocked away by Casey, got it back and finishes.
Oh, that's where knocking it away might not have been the best idea. What a finish by Derek Lively the second. Well, his maturation as a player, he was the #1 rated player out of high school. Had an injury to start the season, didn't have much continuity, but his maturation's really been impressive. And John Shire's patience to bring him along. He's turned into a really confident player. Look at Poplar having to take Kyle Filipowski, and that's a tough cover. He's trying to front him, and now he's got
switch. Yeah,
they switch back.
So Miller's got him. Nice play by Casey. Bounces back to Lively. Mitchell again. He's got 8.
Boy, and to think that shooting was a question mark for this Duke team the last 2 games. They have been dead-eye shooters.
Yeah, they put 96 up on Pittsburgh yesterday, shot 62%, and set an ACC tournament record with 27 assists in the game. Stolen by Mitchell, but then he lost it right back to the Hurricanes. Miller wide open and buries a 3.
Boy, Miami just makes you pay off any sort of broken play situation. There's a great awareness of where their teammates are on the court. This is a willing passing team.
Well, we've gone about 5 minutes, I think, without a whistle. Filipowski forces it up and in.
He's got a unique ability to draw contact and still finish plays. He's not an explosive leaper, but he is strong.
Joseph, his second 3 of the night. And again, it's a 1-point game.
Bensley Joseph shoots 38% from 3. Now he's made 31 of them on the season. What a steal.
How about that play? And he'll finish. Bensley Joseph, outstanding tonight off the bench for the Hurricanes. The 9th lead change of the game already, and Miami is back on top.
Bensley Joseph is nowhere near as big as Norchad Omier, but he has had a big impact thus far in this game. Terrific job getting that left hand in the passing lane, getting the deflection and taking it the other way for the finish, and Miami feeling it.
Jordan, could have sworn I saw you here yesterday. Now back in the studio, anchoring our coverage. A look at the SEC men's tournament. A couple of quarterfinals have been played tonight. Alabama and Missouri have advanced. A&M Arkansas going on the SEC network. Kentucky and Vandy. If Vandy can get that one, how about the kind of the second half of the season that Jerry Stackhouse's team has had?
Jerry Stackhouse is a great coach. I mean, I don't think anybody in the SEC, if the country runs better stuff offensively than Stackhouse puts together.
Roach has it knocked away.
Do you, Dan, think that that Wojo and Tom Crean have had enough of hearing about Jordan Cornette being the all-time leading shot blocker at Notre Dame?
Has that come up every now and again?
That might have been the first segment done in the studio without Jordan mentioning that.
Discuss amongst yourselves, fellas. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business. And Toro, count on it. Well, we got a good one going here. Miami leading Duke by 1 late in the first half here in semifinal number 1 at the ACC tournament. Coming up at the All-State halftime report. More coverage from Champ Week. 2 of the top teams in the country. Alabama, Houston dominate in their games. And how about Ohio State without Bryce Sensabaugh beating Michigan State by 10 to advance to the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament? Do we have a bid stealer alert? Well, if we do, they're going to have to get by Purdue in the semis tomorrow.
How about Reese Davis in his Don Draper suit?
Ryan Young couldn't finish it, but he will head to the line for 2. Faber Ire, who is into the game for Miami, a guy who plays sparingly, but again, Norchad Omier suffering an ankle injury in the first minute of the game, will not return. So Jim Larinaga kind of trying to bob and weave his way through it with different lineup combinations to see what works.
Just trying to steal minutes wherever he can and get some of his primetime players a little bit more rest when he can.
Holly with news.
Well, guys, good news if you're a Miami fan or a basketball fan in general. Norchad Omier had an X-ray here on site, and there is no break in that ankle. So really positive news. See if he can return here quickly. He's out.
So won't play tonight. Remains to be seen if Miami plays tomorrow, but obviously they have to win tonight to play tomorrow. But really, if you're the Hurricanes, you got to be thinking about the NCAA tournament and just hoping that Omier can get back as close to 100% as possible for that.
Yeah, the bigger picture, and really the issue is going to be ligament damage. Is there any?
A miss by Walker. No Filipowski, no Lively in the game right now for the Blue Devils. Deflected by Walker. Shot clock didn't reset. It's down to 9. Whitehead steps in, around and out. Young the offensive rebound. That is his greatest skill. And a held ball is the call. No basket, a held ball, and the possession arrow gives it to the Hurricanes.
That was just a fantastic play by Nigel Pack to get a hand on that ball. And you're right, Ryan Young, one of the best offensive rebounders in the country, 7th in the league, close to 3 per game, and he gets it on short minutes.
Is it just for, being in the right place at the right time? What makes a guy who's not a great leaper a great offensive rebounder?
Well, he gets great position. So he follows the flight of the ball and he positions himself in order to be in the area of a rebound. I wouldn't say he's an outside of his area rebounder, but most of the best offensive rebounders are really smart with the way they play the flight of the ball. A shot comes from the right corner, you position yourself on the left side because most of the corner shots are going to go long. Things like that. That's why Bob Huggins, you have a shot from the right side, he gets his offensive rebounders to the left side of the basket.
Boy, pretty tough play there from Walker. He just kind of nudged Filipowski out of the way, made the basket as Filipowski argued for an offensive foul.
Well, when you're playing against physical defense, you have to be physical on offense. That's the only way you're going to combat physical defense.
And a foul in the corner on Wong, and Isaiah Wong is saying that Whitehead kicked his legs out.
I think Dariq Whitehead is one of those players you shouldn't have to close out to him. you should be there already. And he did kick his legs out a little bit, but it was more in his natural shooting motion, I would say. There's very little contact, but still you have to give the player the opportunity to land.
So Whitehead at the line, the second foul on Wong, and it looks like he's going to be coming out. We'll find out after the next free throw. And indeed, Jim Larrañaga will sit him, presumably for the rest of the half, as Joseph comes back in. Joseph's been outstanding tonight in limited minutes off the bench for Miami.
Well, he's so fast with the ball. And Miami's done a good job in limited opportunities of getting the ball up court quickly.
Whitehead knocks all three of them down.
Joseph only averages about 5 points a game. He's already got 8.
Miami ball, 17 on the shot clock. Don't forget our second semifinal tonight. Clemson and Virginia, the top 4 seeds advancing to the semifinals. Virginia won the only regular season matchup. It was just 10 days ago. Beat them by 7 in Charlottesville. Poplar slipped. Somehow found Walker. Shot clock at 5. Walker gets it off. Tipped out by Joseph, but it finds Whitehead and the Blue Devils.
I'll tell you, Joseph sticks his nose in there and rebounds at both ends of the court. And if he can't get it, he's going to knock it away.
Just a sophomore from Arlington, Mass.
A really good job by Jordan Miller of fighting Kyle Filipowski for that low post.
Proctor, no. Lively, yes.
When you go to block a shot, that is going to open up the offensive glass for Derek Lively II. You have to get a rotation right into his body. Easy to say, hard to do.
Timeout, Jim Larrañaga. One more look at the Lively dunk, his second dunk of the night. Something Jim Larrañaga did not want to see happen tonight. Fires up the Blue Devils, fires up the crowd. Duke's lead is 4. Semifinal number 1 here with the Greensboro Coliseum. 70th year of the ACC Tournament. 29th time it has been here. This game has featured 7 ties and 12 lead changes. Duke leading Miami by 4. 1:09 to go in the first half.
And for Miami, this is an important last minute 9 seconds of the first half. Duke has the possession arrow, and absent a tie-up in the last minute of the half, that means they get the ball first to start the second half. So if Miami can get a score and a stop, but if Duke can get a stop and a score, this game looks a little bit different.
Miller driving on Whitehead. Turnaround. Got it.
Wow.
What a play.
Just a big time individual play that was well defended. That was just big time offense against really good defense.
3 years of George Mason, and now 2 with the Hurricanes. Whitehead, no. Filipowski with a rebound. Whitehead again. And he got this one.
Like clockwork, offensive rebound leads to an open 3. The best time to shoot a 3.
5 or 6 second difference between the game clock and the shot clock here at the end of the half.
And Miami can take it all the way down to 0 before they shoot it on the shot clock and still have time for an offensive rebound opportunity.
Duke fans getting to their feet here in Greensboro. Miller's got to force it up. 3 seconds. Proctor from 65 feet away. Wide right, and an entertaining first half comes to a close with the Blue Devils holding a 5-point lead on the Hurricanes. Always some good shooting in this game, especially by Duke. They impose their will with their size at times. Let's see how Jim Larrañaga feels about the first half.
Well, Coach Larrañaga, when Norchad goes down, he's a double-double guy for you. How did you quickly rebound with who you put into the game and how your guys responded?
Well, we're a team, and it's got to be a team effort. Everybody knows how good Norchad is at both ends of the court. The real key is he's not there to keep those watch them occurring. He's the defensive rebounder, and he is excellent at it. But we don't have anybody like that right now.
I know you said at practice today, I don't want to see Derek Lively dunking in there. How do you stop that action you're talking about?
He's so much taller. Our tallest guy is like 6'7", so it's very, very hard, but you got to block him out. The only thing is, he's standing in the arc. So even if you block him out, the ball goes up in the air, he's going to get to it first.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
They could use a guy like LaFonso Ellis in there to try to defend the rim, to try to keep Derek Lively II doing the things that he has done a couple of times, but they can't have the Fonz. He's looking good in his suit over there with Coach Greenberg and Reese Davis, ready to bring you the All-State halftime report.
Dan, thank you.
Welcome back to ESPN's Champ Week presented by Principal. This is the New York Life ACC Tournament. And a tournament of this magnitude demands the very best for halftime entertainment. Red Panda getting it done at halftime. Dan Schulman, Jay Billis back with you here inside the Greensboro Coliseum. A 5-point lead for Duke. No Norchad Omier because of the injury. Isaiah Wong foul trouble. Miami hung in there, led for much of the first half, but Duke very, very good on offense in the first half.
Yeah, Duke shot 57% in that first half, and this is a team that people worried about their perimeter shooting, and rightfully so, but they've done it with their big guys and getting in and out of ball screen situations quickly. Kyle Filipowski with a little throw and get ball screen. He gets out of it quickly into the low post. That puts Miami into rotation. And Filipowski can see over the top of Anthony Walker, just hits Tyrese Proctor for the easy three across the court. And then Derek Lively II going to step out and set a side ball screen. He gets out of it quickly on an open side. And the rotation a little bit slow getting over there, Wooga Poplar, and that's why you shoot 9 for 11 for the big guys at Duke in the first half.
Moments ago, Holly Rose spoke with John Shire.
Well, Coach, you've got a noticeable size advantage inside. How do you take advantage of that?
Well, they're very physical. They're very athletic. They make it hard for you to pass it inside, but we need to continue to do it. It's a strength of ours. I thought we had some big-time rebounds to really cut the lead down and then to get the lead, and that's something we're going to have to do here in the second half.
They have some guys that just keep hitting clutch shots in Miller and Wong. What do you do defensively on those two in particular?
Stay the course. They're really good players. They've hit some big-time shots. They're big-time players. The biggest thing, we can't give them run-outs in transition.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you, Al.
Well, those two really good players, Miller and Wong, combining for a bucket for Miami, and Proctor just answered with a three on a great pass from Filipowski.
Yeah, Kyle Filipowski, was a terrific job along the baseline by Nigel Pack to cut off Filipowski, but he had to run a long distance to get to Tyrese Proctor and hit another open three.
Now Lively kicks it out to Mitchell, who draws the foul. The assist for Filipowski, by the way, his 4th of the game already. He's got a tremendous skill set for a guy as big and as young as he is. And as we know, Norchad Omier's not going to play again tonight. Now he is back out on the bench. Came out just a minute or so ago with that right ankle heavily wrapped up. And if you're a Miami fan, all you're thinking about is hoping that the medical staff can get him ready for Thursday or Friday whenever Miami begins its run in the NCAA tournament.
And without Omier in this game, you're without an outstanding rebounder that gets you double-digit rebounds every game. And against Duke in the 2 games before this one, he was averaging 13 points, 12 rebounds, and a couple of blocks.
Miami last year got into the dance as a 10 seed and went all the way to the Elite 8. Again, this is a tough, experienced group. We're hoping Omier can be healthy in the next few days. Wong with a deep three to get him back within 5.
And an excellent defender, Tyrese Proctor, was right with him, got a hand up. But you're worried not only about the shot with Isaiah Wong, but the drive. Talk about a 3-level scorer.
Wong only played 11 minutes in the first half, missed a couple of minutes at the end after picking up his 2nd foul, but sat at the scores table for over 5 minutes while the game went on without a whistle. Just one of those things. Now a wing three from Wooga Poplar, and they're back within 2.
Well, you go for that ball, and Jordan Miller comes away with it. And Duke has to keep Miami out of the open floor. They are really dangerous when they get ahead of steam. And it's not just running to the rim. They run to the 3-point line.
Anthony Walker getting the start in the second half. In effect, the 5-man, although he's not really, but that means he's got to deal with Derek Lively, the second, who shows some nice touch.
And Derek Lively, at his size, he's not getting into wrestling matches in the low post. He uses his quickness. Good pass out.
Walker wide open. Misses the 3, and Filipowski down with the rebound for Duke.
I think Anthony Walker, when he's in there, he's going to have to act as a screener because Derek Lively's not staying with him and he's not going out to guard him. So he needs to set some screens and free up his teammates.
Yeah, Walker just 2 for 20 from 3-point range on the season. Deflected, but Filipowski just too big.
But Duke did a really nice job when Filipowski was being fronted by Jordan Miller. They just got the ball to the right angle. You don't try to force it in from one spot. Get it to the angle where you can feed him and he can just hold the defender off.
Boy, Miller just so shifty and creative in there. Lost Mitchell just long enough.
Just not enough pressure on the ball to take away vision. And you're right, Miller behind the defense just cut right to the other side of the basket and then used that shot fake to get. Now look, Miller's trying to get around in front, so just throw the ball to the right angle to go high-low. Just really smart by Mark Mitchell to get the ball to Derek Lively the second to make that pass. That's a hockey assist right there for Mitchell. I really think basketball should do that.
Absolutely. But before they do that, give a guy an assist when the shooter gets fouled and makes the free throw.
Yes, that's true. Well, they shouldn't even have to make the free throw. Isn't the quality of the pass the issue rather than what if a guy misses a wide open layup? Why do you punish the guy that made the great pass?
Well, you can't give an assist if there's no basket.
An assist. He's still assisted.
Yeah. Roach, no assist necessary on that one.
I think he should give an assist to a great screen that frees up a drive.
We've opened Pandora's box here, I fear. 6-point lead for Duke. Jeremy Roach has had some big scoring games for the Blue Devils. He's been their leading scorer in 7 of their last 11 games. And Miami could use some offense from Nigel Pack, and he is capable of providing it. Miami trying to hang in without Omier, and they're knocking down shots from the outside, Jay.
Well, Miami is an excellent offensive team, and this team can really shoot it. The little jab step creates the space. Isaiah Wong knocks down the 3 without a dribble, and in the open floor, that'll make you popular in Miami.
Assists not shown. This is just the first of 2 semifinals tonight here for the New York Life ACC Men's Basketball Tournament. We got a good one coming for you at about 9:30 Eastern. Tony Bennett and the Virginia Cavaliers, the 2 seed in the league, taking on the 3 seed, the Clemson Tigers, who had a very impressive win over North Carolina State last night. Hunter Tyson, PJ Hall and company. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think we'll have a lot of fans from both schools. And again, I know you and I think Clemson has done enough to get in. Who knows? Obviously an element of the unknown. Joe Lunardi still has them among the first 4 out, but their net did climb from 61 to 51 after their win last night. As a rather unpopular call amongst Duke fans, the foul on Derek Lively II. Oh, no, they give it to Filipowski, apparently. Not on Lively, on Filipowski, the hand on the elbow, evidently. Let's go to Holly.
Well, guys, as you know, Isaiah Wong, the ACC Player of the Year, and I asked him today, what does that mean to him? He said, I've been through so much adversity. My freshman year, I didn't think I was good enough to play in the league. I really wondered, am I good enough on this stage? But my mom, my family, everybody had my back. He said, there were games I wouldn't score. There were games I would leave the gym and think I was terrible, but I just kept working. And now, think of that, almost quitting as a freshman, thinking he wasn't good enough, to being the best in the league this year. This young man is proud of the adversity that he fought through and that he never gave up.
Holly, thank you. Fourth-year junior, if you will. That's the way they designate them at Miami. So because of the COVID year, he's actually got another year coming to him if he would like. Right now, he's thinking about trying to help his team into the championship game here for the ACC tournament if he can.
Well, he was just really good on defense, taking away a flash post by Mark Mitchell from the corner.
Mitchell stumbling, tipped up, no good, and it's down to Miller.
Like Duke was playing volleyball on the backboards on that possession. It was so hard to keep off the glass.
That's a tough one. Step back three from the corner for Nigel Pack that he left well short. But he can get hot in a hurry, can't he?
Everybody on that Miami team seems like they can get hot in a hurry. They never know which guy's going to have the hottest of hot hands, but boy, the number of turnovers, that's double-digit turnovers now for Duke.
Yep, Miami doing a great job on deflections, and Isaiah Wong a great job in transition. Mom loves it, and it's down to 2.
He may have had doubts as a freshman, but there's no doubt anymore about Isaiah Wong, and there hasn't been for some time. Gets the deflection, takes it the other way, goes right into the chest of Filipowski, knocks him back, and finishes that with the left hand. What a big-time finish. Look how he never took his eyes off the rim. That's incredible concentration through contact.
Well, lead changes in this game. Duke up by 2.
Miami known as a great offensive team, but their defense, they've been disruptive.
Again, a lot of deflections here in the second half. Roach had to pick up his dribble and then a reach-in foul going against the Canes.
And when Miami on these ball screens decides they're going to stay with the ball and double, you just can't let them split it. And Jeremy Roach did a great job of splitting those two defenders.
Roach missed a few games with a toe injury midway through the season. And when he came back, a bit of a shift in roles as Whitehead knocks down another 3. Speaking of guys who were injured, and as they will tell you in the Duke notes, the Blue Devils 16-1 this year when they have had their entire complement of players. Now, they're not the only team to deal with injuries this year, but between Roach and Whitehead, most notably, they've been shorthanded a fair bit.
Well, that bucket by Whitehead was made possible by Derek Lively II. The cut that he made to the basket. Now, watch Lively here, and then watch Whitehead. Lively's going to get a little screen from Whitehead and go to the basket. Everybody's worried about Lively with the lob, and that puts Whitehead wide open for the 3. Really well executed. They put 3 along the baseline, 1 out top. They can, it's always, not always, but it's usually the same alignment that they can do different things out of. And I think for out of bounds plays, if you run the same alignment, you're not giving away what happens. Use different alignments, then it's easier for scouting.
Right.
The defense knows, okay, here's the alignment. We know what's going to happen.
Like football, you want to disguise some things at the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even though there was no need to bring up this sadistic ground acquisition game that's nothing more than a crypto-fascist metaphor for war.
That's 2 Pandora's boxes that we've opened tonight, if you're keeping track at home.
This is the beautiful game. It is balletic, played by superior athletes with high IQs.
Another deflection. It's out of bounds as Proctor went flying. As Ted Valentine signaled which way the ball is going. Well, we know there's a timeout on the floor.
I missed that. Maybe the ball bounced out of bounds.
Yeah. Ball's out right there before Wong touched it, I think.
Yeah, because Wong was never out of bounds.
Yeah. Timeout on the floor. 1 possession game between Duke and Miami. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business. And the Oscars on ABC this Sunday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. FanFest here at the ACC Tournament right next door to the Greensboro Coliseum. The tournament started on Tuesday. Also getting all kinds of updates on ACC Network. And at halftime, Red Panda got an assist from Luke Hancock and Kelsey Riggs, 2 of the outstanding talents that we see, along with Joel Berry as well.
So we don't.
Where was Boozer?
We don't have footage of Luke Hancock's first and only assist.
Luke and Joel Berry were involved in a three-point shooting contest yesterday. I asked Boozer, I said, why weren't you in on it? He said, I was the video guy. He didn't want to get involved shooting threes with those perimeter guys.
Well, Miami getting aggressive, trying to trap, make something happen. They've gotten a ton of deflections in this game, and they've turned Duke over 10 times.
Filipowski made 4 threes in last night's win over Pitt, and he extends the Duke lead to 6 right here.
You just have to guard him all over the floor. You know, most big guys, you have to guard them within a certain range. But you got to go out to 24 feet to have to guard Kyle Filipowski.
Yes, he missed a shot tonight. 5 for 5, including the 3, 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists for the freshman. The rookie of the year in the ACC, and it wasn't even close in that voting.
When a guy hasn't missed a shot, you tend to think he should get more shots.
Whitehead, a nice look. Proctor misses the 3. And Beverly with the rebound for the Canes.
Boy, Duke's floor spacing is so good.
Why do you think, and they're clearly a better team than they were earlier this year, other than as Wong knocks down a 3, other than the freshmen getting more experience, why else have the Blue Devils improved?
I think Duke's defense has improved greatly over the course of the year. It's been good throughout the year, but I think the emergence of Derek Lively II has been game changing, and now having Derek Whitehead healthy where he can play significant minutes. I mean, this is now a stretched floor. You didn't have to stretch the floor earlier on in the season. You could give up some open threes to Duke and not fear them. And now you have to get out to these three-point shooters, and it's opening up driving lanes for Duke.
And a driving lane taken by the 7-footer Filipowski, who's now 6 for 6.
I still maintain that if you haven't missed, need more shots.
In and out for Wong on the 3, and back come the Blue Devils, led by Proctor.
And Proctor's emergence taking over the point guard position. Now Jeremy Roach can play off the ball. And Proctor has been so reliable with the ball.
His first miss of the night, but a good look.
He's so good in these pick and pop situations.
Long with a long 2, rebound Filipowski. Nigel Pack getting ready to check back in for Miami. Jeremy Roach for Duke.
The one thing Duke doesn't do that traditionally you've seen from a Duke team defensively is that they're not the type of team that forces a ton of turnovers. So their turnover margin is not among the best teams in the country.
They just turned it over themselves for the 11th time, and a foul on Lively. It was all ball up top, but it did look like body down below.
No, he got body.
Yeah, John Shire doesn't like it, may not have seen it, but from our vantage point, it looked like the right call.
Well, the officials this year have been holding their whistle until the play completes. Like, here's the foul right here. That's the foul.
Yeah.
And then he got it afterwards. But because the whistle wasn't contemporaneous with the foul, he knew it was a foul right away. They just give themselves time to let it play out.
Contemporaneous.
I got better words than that.
Filipowski having himself a night. Isaiah Wong, the conference player of the year, keeping Miami close. You going to drop a tertiary on us at some point?
Maybe.
Some fun during the timeout. A Miami fan and a Duke fan in a shooting contest. Each was tasked with making a free throw, a 3.5 court shot. And our guy from Miami knocked it down on his first attempt from midcourt. Congrats. Meanwhile, warming up in the hallway, the Clemson Tigers, the 3 seed in the ACC tournament. Brad Brownell's team, 23-9, went 14-6 in the regular season in league play. And how good did they look against NC State last night?
Well, Clemson is an NCAA tournament team. They're big, they're physical, and they are excellent defensively. And how they guard Virginia's half-court offense, that mover blocker, they call it sides. is going to determine whether they move on to the final, because Virginia is really hard to guard when they run that.
Clemson has never won the ACC tournament, and they are an original member of the conference. They have been to the final twice, trying to get there with a win tonight, but they've got their hands full with Tony Bennett's squad.
And how long has it been? Miami won it 10 years ago now?
Yes, yes.
Boy, it's amazing. It seems like yesterday.
Outstanding team. Shane Larkin, Kenny Kaji. I mean, they had, Jim Larinaga had a phenomenal team that year.
They were big.
Yeah.
That team would match up pretty well with the size of Duke. They're older now, but I'm glad you got that one.
Thank you.
It took you a while.
Yeah. Roach, contested shot from the elbow, and Filipowski got held. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, this Miami team winning the conference championship this year is no surprise. Justin Miller told us that when they made it to the Elite Eight last year, they knew they could be special. So he and Isaiah Wong got together and said, we're going to be special this year. We're going to get the guys together. So all the newcomers, everybody has been getting together at their house, Justin Miller's house, all season long to watch the Marvel series, the Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man. They have kept that tradition up here at the ACC tournament, where they all got together in Justin's room yesterday to watch Endgame. They're staying together. They love each other, and that chemistry is really showing up on the floor this year for the Miami Hurricanes.
That's great stuff, Holly. Thank you. They did not have a player transfer out of the program after last year. They lost 3 to graduation, but they brought in a couple of transfers, Nigel Pack, Norchad Omier. And you can see when you watch their games, or even more so when we get the opportunity to watch Jim Larinaga's team in practice, and this is not to say Duke or anybody else isn't, but you can see what a together group the Hurricanes have. Nice drive, finish with the left hand for Proctor.
Well, they're also a prolific Uno playing team.
Ooh.
That card game. And Jordan Miller is apparently the most proficient at playing Uno.
Duke has led throughout the second half, but Miami staying close. Tipped back out by Miller. Walker, yeah, that's Derek Lively was timing him up from the get-go.
And if you get an opportunity to go against Lively, you got to take it right into his chest, right into his chin. If you try to avoid the block shot, he's so long, he just goes and gets it and knocks it away.
As long as Walker's reach is, it's not as long as Lively's. Third block for Lively, corner jumper for Pack.
Boy, Pack, he is very difficult to deal with on cuts because he goes from slow to fast in a heartbeat. And you can't go under screens with Nigel Pack. You have to chase him over the top.
Roach, no, but a foul.
It might have been Pack from behind.
And it is. First on him.
It's so hard when somebody just gets by you like Roach got by Pack. You have to trust your help side to put pressure at the rim. You know, the last thing you want to do is foul. Just make him make that tough 2 over your teammate.
Very good year for Roach. John Shire has spoken often about how much was on his shoulders at the beginning of the year, because with the exception of maybe, you know, the 2 grad transfers new to the program, Jalen Blakes, who doesn't play very much, the rest of the group all freshmen. As the freshmen have grown, maybe a little bit less responsibility for Roach, but in the first couple of months he was asked to carry the load in a number of ways for this team.
And the most important way was he had to do all the ball handling responsibilities. So he had to play point guard, and then when he gave it up, operate as a 2 guard and look to score. But now, yeah, he does handle the ball at times. He's a really good pick and roll ball handler and very good at making reads off ball screens. But Proctor's taken the primary ball handling duties off his shoulders, and that's made him more of an offensive weapon.
Wong back into the game for Miami, creates the space. That is Isaiah Wong. How many times have ACC fans or Miami fans see him do that? Create a little space, knock down a jumper from the baseline.
Just came off that little Iverson cut up top, and he's going against a long-armed, really good defender in Mark Mitchell, and just knocked him back a little bit, able to go up with that mid-range shot. There's not a space or area of the floor that Isaiah Wong is not a dangerous scorer.
22 tonight for Wong. Young to Mitchell.
Well, you got to get more pressure on the ball to keep that being thrown in over the top to Ryan Young. And Young, when he draws defensive attention, he's a good passer out of that. And that was a really good pass to Mitchell.
Double figures now for Mitchell for the 6th consecutive game. Good job by Whitehead to stay down on all those fakes from Wong. Casey with a reverse, the freshman from Chicago, and it's again a 3-point game.
Yeah, went to Whitney Young High School in Chicago. A lot of great players have come out of Whitney Young, but that was a really nice job of getting to the other side of the rim.
How about this, Jay? Duke shooting 57%, Miami right at 50%. Two teams playing very well offensively.
Both these teams can make shots. And Duke is emerging as a much better and proficient offensive team. But Miami without Norchad Omier patrolling the middle, both offensively and defensively. The Hurricanes hanging in there. Just out of the dunker spot in the short corner, getting to the other side of the floor, other side of the basket. Wong so hard to guard. He is a shot maker.
Knew that.
That can't be confirmed. That's just a rumor that's been going around for years. How about the year Shaka Smart and Marquette are having, by the way? And how about what's going on in the Pac-12? The semifinals are going on tonight, including over on ESPN. A big one coming up. Arizona State. The Sun Devils, a bubble team. And remember, they beat the Wildcats in Tucson on a half-court shot a couple of weeks ago. So that's going to be all kinds of fun.
You know, to Wojo's question, I have heard quite a bit that Jordan Cornette is the all-time leading shot blocker at Notre Dame, but that's actually the first time I'd heard it mentioned by somebody other than Jordan Cornette, so that was interesting.
Roach in some traffic, looking for help, kicks it back out.
Good shot fake.
Proctor misses the three. We got contact underneath and a Duke foul, evidently going against Ryan Young.
And Miami keeping this to a one-possession game. And I'm not saying Miami would turn down getting a run and taking a lead, but without Norchad Omier in the ball game, he was injured in the first minute, just after the first minute. You know, for Miami to keep this to a one-possession game, to have a chance at the end, and I think that's what Jim Larrañaga's thinking right now. So Miami raising up. They're in a little 2-3 set. And that'll give them a little extra space to make some cuts without Derek Lively in the middle.
Miller the spin and the finish and a chance for three. What a play by Jordan Miller.
This really smart set run by Miami and Jim Larrañaga. They draw Derek Lively away from the basket, get that baseline drive, and then Lively's got to come down from the top. And then he's going to have to block the shot from behind. And got the body contact and still the finish. And Jordan Miller is just a big-time player. I'm not sure there's a more complete player, both offense and defense, in the league than Jordan Miller.
Second team all ACC, although we missed the free throw that would have tied it up. So it's Duke by one, less than 7 minutes to go. Good help there to shut Roach down. Now they got him trapped.
And they wouldn't let him split it.
And on the alternating possession, it is Miami ball.
One of the better traps that Miami has put on. When Jeremy Roach picked up his dribble, he couldn't pivot through it because Miami really tightened that trap up. It was essentially shoulder to shoulder, and they wouldn't let him through. And there were 4 hands on the ball right there, maybe 6 if you count Jeremy Roach.
Miami's been swimming upstream a lot here in this one. They have trailed more than they have led, but they've got a chance to reclaim the lead on this trip. Miller will try. Another rebound for Filipowski.
Duke really hasn't had many opportunities in transition. A quick outlet, but Tyrese Proctor content to essentially just walk it up and get into something.
Mitchell left-handed, gets inside, left it short.
Well, Wooga Poplar's done a nice job on the glass. Undersized in a game full of big guys. He's really battled.
Nigel Pack, the transfer from K-State. Good look for Casey. Roach the rebound.
After that little staggered ball screen up top, Miami just throwing back for the reversal.
And the atmosphere picking up mostly from the Duke fans right now as they continue to lead by 1. And another tie-up. No, a foul was called.
Wow.
2 officials had a different signal. Ted Valentine, from what I saw, was getting ready to call a held ball. A.J. Desai called a foul on Wong.
Yeah, I saw the signal for jump ball, but
bonus now. Roach to the line for 1-and-1. Proctor will get a breather. Whitehead returns.
Both these teams good free throw shooting teams. Each of them shoot about 77-78% as a team. That's numbers 2 and 3 in the league.
And number 1's warming up in the hallway. Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson, like 4 out of their 5 starters shoot over 80%.
A missed front end, but it is still Duke ball. And Anthony Walker is livid. Jim Larinaga didn't like it either. They thought it was off Lively. Yeah, they might be right. And now a foul on Wong. Is that number 4 on Isaiah Wong?
Yeah,
yes, it is.
Had 2 in a row. Boy, what a big play. That's just a huge play. Where possession of the ball in that call was a big part of it. Same play, looking for Derek Lively coming off that little screen for the lob. And just Isaiah Wong didn't give Derek Whitehead the opportunity to land. That's the 2nd time he's been fouled shooting a 3 in this game.
And as soon as it happened, one of the Miami assistants, one of the most important jobs that in-game staff has is to make sure the head coach knows how many fouls that is. And the look on Jim Larinaga's face when he was told it was number 4. He thought about it for a while, but he has sent Bensley Joseph to the scorer's table, and he's going to take Isaiah Wong out of the game. Maybe just till the under 4 or
yeah,
something like that.
I think that's probably right. We can't keep him out for too long.
Yeah. They bring in a tenacious defender, but they lose some offense. And Joseph's knocked down some shots. Very good player, but he's not Isaiah Wong.
Yeah, Wong has, what, 14 in the 2nd half?
Correct.
He's been strong.
Whitehead 6 for 6 from the line.
And all 6 free throws coming from those 2 3-pointers he was fouled on. Roach doing a really good job making it difficult for Nigel Pack to catch the ball.
And a foul against Duke. Kyle Filipowski called for the foul. And then the Miami players were yelling for a technical when he threw the ball down to the other end of the court.
Yeah, it went all the way into the crowd.
Yeah, Filipowski went and got the ball himself, brought it back.
I think they probably got a delay of game warning for that or something rather than call it technical.
Right. Yeah. 3rd on Filipowski. Poplar at the line. This feels like the kind of guy next year, if some of the older players move on, that Poplar might jump from an 8-point-a-game guy to a 16-point-a-game guy next season.
Yeah, because there'll be more shots available.
Yeah.
He's a really good player, just an elite athlete. And he's a good defender.
Played a lot of baseball, more baseball than basketball until midway through high school.
Then he decided he wanted something more exciting and rewarding.
Hey, now. you were a big Dodger fan back
I still am. I still am. I love baseball. But that was in desperate need of a shot clock.
They've got a pitch clock. It's working.
I know. That's what I was saying. Desperate need.
Yep. 2-point game. 4:40 to go. How about Poplar at 6'5", guarding Filipowski? Now Miller switches onto him. Filipowski the spin, hangs and hits. How good is that?
He has got game, and he is taking advantage of smaller defenders that are doing a good job trying to stay in front of him, but he's just going up over the top of Jordan Miller.
7 for 8 on the night. It won't go down for Nigel Pack.
And after the under 4 timeout, I think Jim Larrañaga is going to have to get Isaiah Wong back in the ballgame. He's just going to have to be smart, but you have to have his offense on the floor to make this final push in regulation.
It's the second time tonight he's had to sit because of foul trouble.
When you look at Jim Larrañaga, the job, not just the job he's done at Miami, but throughout his career, what a rich journey he's had through the game. He played at Archbishop Malloy High School in New York. Got the best whistle in basketball, by the way. He wears one around his neck, but he never uses it in practice. He's got his own whistle. It's remarkable how loud that thing is.
Played for Jack Curran at Archbishop Malloy. Played for Dave Gavitt at Providence. Drafted by the Pistons and on the Naismith Hall of Fame finalist ballot for the first time. Six-point lead. This is as big as it's been in a while. Poplar. Walker, beautiful offense from the Hurricanes.
And you could see the baseball in Poplar. He had a head-first slide after making that assist. He covered about 15 feet on the slide alone.
Knocked out of bounds. Still Duke ball with 3:42 to go.
Boy, how hard has Bensley Joseph played in this game?
A berth in the final is on the line here in semifinal number 1 in Greensboro. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. Over 12,000 agents there to help guide you through life's happiest and most difficult times. Well, two really good teams and a lot of emotion in this one. The entire game has been played in a 10-point window. Duke has not led by more than 8. Miami has not led by more than 2. It is a 4-point game right now with a berth in the championship game of the New York Life ACC Tournament on the line between the Blue Devils and the Hurricanes. They are getting after it tonight here in Greensboro, as is Holly Rowe. Holly.
Well, guys, earlier this season, Duke had won 3 in a row, and we're coming off a big win over their rival North Carolina. John Shire said, we were acting like we had arrived. That's until they went to Miami. They got beat down, 22-point loss. And after that game on February 6th, they got together and had a players-only meeting for 90 minutes. That meeting changed the course of their season. You see there the difference in play, and part of that is Mark Mitchell told me, number one, we decided that we had to play together. We had to learn our roles and accept our roles, play to our strengths instead of what we thought we could do individually. He said we're sharing the ball more, and more importantly, we just got to know each other, what everybody could do well. He said that was the turning point of our season. That meeting changed everything, and if they get a chance to go to the ACC championship game, in a weird way, they'll have Miami to thank.
Holly, thank you. A timeout now by John Shire. So we'll step aside for 30 seconds. Duke looking to inbound. 3:42 to go, up by 4. And we're back. Virginia getting ready. The Hoos are in the house to take on the Clemson Tigers in the second semifinal tonight. Tony Bennett's already won 2 ACC tournament championships, 2014, 2018. Meanwhile, Isaiah Wong still on the bench. Now it is Duke ball, so maybe Jim Larrañaga is just, if a foul's committed here, then you get him in on offense. But Wong has got 4 fouls, still on the bench with 3:42 to go. Pressure. Proctor picks it up in a tough spot, and a held ball The arrow gives it back to Duke, but of course if that were to happen again, Miami gets the next one, but it is still Duke basketball.
And if it happens 2 more times, Duke gets it.
That's true. And so on and so on.
I don't mind the arrow because who wants to watch jump balls? Yeah. It's so difficult, but I think the defense should get it anytime there's a tie-up.
You know why I said that? Because my mother said to me a few months ago, what is it with the, I don't understand the arrow. So I was just, in case she's watching. Mom, in case you're watching.
You know she's watching.
Yeah.
She's probably disappointed in your shirt tie combo.
Roach a little bit short. Pack could not keep it in bounds.
And as one would expect with Norchad Omier going out of the game just after the first minute in the first half, Duke has dominated the glass, and they have been a handful on the offensive glass.
Woo. No call. And a bucket for Filipowski. Miami bench wants an offensive foul. Duke bench wants a flop. Neither of them happened, but it's a bucket for Filipowski. Now 17 on the night.
And now Wong will come back into the ball game. Miami has the ball. You put him in for offense here. But look, there's no question that there were 2 feet on the floor facing the ball handler. Teddy Valentine making a move, but deciding against the call.
Well, and Filipowski from the get-go has realized he's had a significant size advantage tonight, and he's taken advantage of it at every opportunity.
Well, he's such a skilled player. He can set a ball screen. He can get out of the ball screen to the 3-point line. He can roll to the basket. He can post. He can step away, shot fake, and drive. I mean, how many 7-footers, especially freshmen, have that kind of skill set? Yeah. And he's physical, and he's a committed rebounder. I mean, he has been a load out there for Miami to deal with.
If you haven't been with us all night long and you want to see what Jay means, here's what Jay means.
Well, Kyle Filipowski has size and he's got skill. Great feet. And he is physical on both ends of the floor, but he's really good on those short roll situations. After he sets a ball screen, he can roll to the basket and they can hit him short. And then he can make a decision whether to take it one-on-one or if he draws 2 defenders, can pass out of it, and usually intelligently. He's got a few turnovers in this game, but he's made so many positive plays on both ends of the floor.
Long back into the game for the Hurricanes. Backs up into the corner, guarded by Proctor. Shot clock inside 10. Turnaround Miller again off 1 foot. And he's brought him back within 4.
Well, you talk about a guy that has got game, and that's Jordan Miller. And he was aware of where Derek Lively was. Lively was shading over toward him to try to get up and block that shot.
Duke gets it over.
Miami's aggressive in trapping and looking for steals, and they've gotten deflections in this game.
And there's one right there into the backcourt. Shot clock down to 10.
And Roach is good off ball screens.
Goes right by Wong, but rejected by Walker.
They have numbers.
Now Roach hustles back into the play. They didn't take advantage of it. Crossover by Wong. Pull up by Wong. And rebound Filipowski, his 10th.
Not many offensive rebound opportunities for Miami. With Norchad Omier in there, he gets 3-4 of them a game on average.
Suffered an ankle injury a minute and 6 seconds into the game.
And Miller battling Filipowski down the low post.
Roach for 3.
He is so good in that spot on the left side where he can go to his right off of a ball screen.
Pack lays it in.
How did he get that up?
And now he's shaken up.
What a fantastic drive by Nigel Pack.
Well, he gets up and in a lot of pain right now. Miami already down 1 significant player. They're hoping Pack is okay.
Whatever gear that was, he just shot through there. Got a little bit of body contact, went to the deck, but still made the shot. But Jeremy Roach, this little throw and get ball screen. And when he's going to his right, he can be really dangerous. Almost drop coverage there by Isaiah Wong. Late recovery to the shot. If he's up on it, Roach is really good at turning the corner and pulling up for that mid-range jumper.
All 5 players, all 5 starters rather, in double figures for the Blue Devils tonight. More pressure from Miami. Boy, you can use Filipowski so big to help get the ball up, and then the finish by Whitehead. Textbook there from the Blue Devils.
Breaking the pressure to score, and Dariq Whitehead has been fantastic in this game.
And right now, Anthony Walker is all over the place at both ends as they get a quick bucket and a trip to the line.
Boy, Miami got the ball up court so quickly. Well, you can't celebrate a basket in this game. And he went right at Filipowski. Filipowski was sideways to him, so no chance of a vertical contest. The body contact was an automatic foul, and still Walker able to finish. It's just a great pass ahead from Bensley Joseph, and that's a big time take and finish by Anthony Walker.
2 good teams. And right now, Joe Lunardi with each of them as a 5 seed, as Walker makes it a 4-point game.
Right now, it's about ball security and expecting contact and getting fouled.
Into Roach. And a foul is called against Miami.
Looks like it went against Poplar. That's going to send Mark Mitchell to the free throw line. Mitchell's a good free throw shooter. Shoots about 77%. Yeah, just got his arms locked in there. Almost had the ball, but pretty good for Mark Mitchell to get 2 hands on that thing.
10th team foul, 2 free throws for Mitchell. Don't forget, Clemson and Virginia still to come in our 2nd semifinal tonight.
And this is where make or miss here. Duke wants to take away threes, let Derek Lively II protect the basket. And you just don't want to foul, stop the clock, and put Miami at the free throw line. So Lively back into the ball game to do just that, protect the rim.
Mitchell 77% on the season, just 4 for 7 tonight.
And Miami does not need a 3 here. I think you want to attack the basket. If you draw multiple defenders, then you can kick it out for a step-in 3.
Pack for 3. Short. Miller the rebound. In and out. And Mitchell has it for Duke. Roach into the front court. He's fouled. And the Blue Devils fans on their feet.
Well, I'm not sure that first 3 by Nigel Pack. Of course he can make that shot. He's an outstanding shooter. But I think you attack the basket there and extend the game a little bit. Give yourself more of a chance to win it. And if Duke is able to hang on, obviously they go to the championship game. But no matter what, you have to be impressed by the fight that Miami has shown in this game. Without Norchad Omier, who got injured in the first minute of the ball game, twisted an ankle and out for the rest of the game, for Miami to put themselves in a position to have a chance to win late. I mean, this Hurricane team battled. Now I think Miami has to take a 3.
Long will. We had a whistle. Now we had a timeout call by Jim Larinaga.
Well, that 4th foul by Isaiah Wong was huge. You know, he got it in back-to-back plays after a controversial call on who'd the ball go off of, and then he picks up his 2nd one on 2 consecutive plays, and then had to sit out. How many minutes? I mean, it must have been 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, sat out several minutes, and he fouled Whitehead. It was Wong both times, right on the Whitehead threes, and Whitehead made all 6 of those free throws. Now Isaiah Wong's done a lot of really good things in this game as well. Duke leading by 7. If they win, it would be their 8th consecutive win. Miami has scored. Duke normally holds teams below 70. Miami's a very good offensive team. But Duke, as we continue to see, growing by the week. at both ends. And, you know, they might go into the tournament a little bit underseeded or undervalued because they're better now than I think their season body of work would show.
Yes, that's exactly right. Their seasons, it's almost like when you look at their shooting percentages. I mean, Duke shoots 33% from three, but that's not been their percentage lately. Right. Certainly not been their percentage in the ACC tournament. I mean, this team has grown so much offensively in the last 2-3 weeks, but especially in the last week. I mean, we're seeing a different offensive attack from Duke. Boy, that Pittsburgh game was a clinic, and this isn't far behind to put up what they have, 97?
96 last night.
And then they got to 83 in this one.
Whitehead lost it on the way up. Joseph misses the three. Weak side rebound, Walker. Wong, no. Pack fouled inadvertently by Lively. And that's number 4 on Derek Lively, the second, but just 10 seconds left in this game. So the issue no longer really in doubt here in this one.
Derek Whitehead, just a freshman, but that last time he had the ball, that was one to pull back out and make him foul you. Use a little bit of clock. Yeah, he didn't have the clear path and didn't have complete control of the ball. Normally he would have been able to dunk that thing in. But how about the job Jon Scheyer's done, not just this year, but late in the year. His patience with this team has been really impressive. And I think one of the most impressive things was how he's brought along Derek Lively II. I mean, Lively was harshly criticized early in the season. He was the #1 player. There's Jon Scheyer's parents. How'd they get such good seats? They must know somebody.
They must know somebody.
But Lively was criticized being the #1 high school player. And I think the Duke staff did a really good job of working with him, convincing him, hey, you got this. Like, let's do what you can do. And he's just blossomed into a game-changing big guy.
Roles have been solidified, you know, whether it's in the backcourt with Proctor and Roach, Lively up front now.
Yeah, I need to talk to you about some solidifying of roles on our team here.
And a foul to send Proctor to the line.
Proctor's had a really good all-around game in this one. Defensively, he's an excellent defender. Really good ball pressure, gets deflections and steals, and then he's been excellent in running the team.
Nothing for the Hurricanes to hang their heads about in this one, as you mentioned just a short while ago.
Well, for the NCAA tournament, I mean, look, everybody that came here in the ACC wanted to win the ACC tournament championship. But for the NCAA tournament, there's a bright spot here. One, Norchad Omier gets a little bit of time to go back and rehab at home. But also, Miami gets a little bit more rest. They get to go home when there's no spotlight on them, and they get to really start preparing for the tournament.
Filipowski with the final rebound of the night, and the Duke Blue Devils are headed to the ACC Tournament Championship game. Eight wins in a row for the Blue Devils as they hold off a stubborn and talented Miami team tonight by a score of 85-78. All 5 starters for the Blue Devils, Jay, had at least 13 points in this game. And you hope that Norchad Omier's not going to need those crutches for long, that by the time the Hurricanes get going in the dance next week, he'll be okay.
Boy, the maturation of this young Duke team to now be not just a contender for the ACC Tournament Championship, but you're looking at a Final Four caliber team that's heading into postseason. This team is starting to hit on all cylinders at exactly the right time.
And Holly Rowe is standing by with it looks like a couple of Blue Devils right now.
We got both of them here. Derek, you were so good today. You had a lot of opportunities at the free throw line. How did you really calm yourself and be big in those moments?
Just my teammates believing in me. They told me to come out and be aggressive. That's something he tells me every game. So I just had to come out here and be aggressive and, you know, just get the win.
You guys had a big team meeting after you lost to Miami the last time. How did what you talked about that meeting manifest itself today? today?
Really just coming together. I mean, we knew when guys make runs, it's a tough team. Miami's a good team, but when guys make runs, we got to stick even closer together. And I think we did that tonight.
You guys have some good communication, all 5 starters in double figures. How have you learned that there's enough to go around and team basketball is the way to win it?
That's something we learned as the season went on. You know, in the beginning of the year, the ball was sticking a lot, and that's something that coach told us to constantly keep learning. And I feel like as the year went on, we just got better at it, just making the extra pass. And I feel like that's been the difference with our team this year, just making extra pass.
So much momentum of this group. They're so young, though, Jeremy. Outside of yourself, how proud are you of the young guys and how they've come on?
I'm proud of them. They kept their head on all season with all the outside noise, everybody coming in and saying whatever they got to say. But, I mean, we stuck together. We stuck with the 15 guys in the locker room, listen to the coaching staff, and, I mean, we're on the ACC Championship right now. So.
Yeah, we'll see you in the ACC Championship. How does that sound?
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So we know the Blue Devils are in the final. Who will they play? The winner of our next semifinal that is starting less than 30 minutes from now. The 2 seed Virginia and the 3 seed Clemson. Coming up next right here from Greensboro on ESPN2. It should be a good one. Again, the final Duke 85 and a Miami 78. And Tyrese Proctor is going to make it official out in the hallway. We'll be back in about 25 minutes. Let's send it to Reese and the guys for everything else going on around the country.
Love what John Shire's done. When he sees it.